26 of a 45-day trip. I've been going to be from Maine to San Diego, from Bismarck, North Dakota, down to Naples, Florida, and everything in between. And every place I go, though, I see the same kind of enthusiasm I'm seeing here today. You know, when I pulled up outside and saw that bulldozer that was all painted up with "We built this," another great example of the enthusiasm I'm talking about. You know, listen, I was a small business owner, and there were a lot of nights I was laying in bed, worried about whether the accounts receivable the next day was going to be large enough to meet the payroll. I don't remember Barack Obama laying next to me holding my hand. I remember the government being there offering me some interest-free loan. Listen, the American people work hard and have achieved an awful lot. We live in the greatest country in the world. You know, I watched that debate last night, and I watched the one a couple of weeks ago. How about that Governor Mitt Romney, and what a great job he's done. So now, if you watch these first two debates, you've seen one thing. Governor Romney keeps bringing the issue back to the economy and outlining his plan to improve our economy. Where was the president's vision for improving our economy? There was no vision. He didn't say one word last night about what he would do to help get the American people back to work other than, oh, we're going to tax small business owners. Oh, that'll really help. Listen, Mitt Romney has a plan to put Americans back to work and get our economy going again and to solve our debt crisis. Listen, there's nobody in Washington who's worked harder with President Obama to try to deal with America's big issues than I have. And I've got to tell you what, it's been disappointing because, listen, I'm there to do the right thing. But the president lost his courage. Just couldn't quite pull the trigger to do what has to be done. And when you look at what we need in Washington right now, more than anything else, what we need is leadership. Yes. People who will stand up and lead and have the courage of their conviction and the courage to do what needs to be done in our country. Mitt Romney can get that done. 22 years ago, I was running for Congress for the first time, and you know, when you're in politics, if you got an easy name, it probably will help you. You know, my name looks like Boehner, Boehner. If they can't say your name, they're not going to vote for you. And I was locked into this race with an incumbent member of Congress in a primary who was going to get beat. And a former member of Congress, his name was Tom Kindness. Anyway, I was out working hard, and I had a 20-year-old college student at Miami of Ohio putting yard signs up for me. His name was Paul Ryan. I've known Paul Ryan for a long time. Great guy, great father, great husband, and a real leader in the Congress. And I'll tell you what, even though he was interrupted by that character from Delaware 80 or 90 times, Paul Ryan really did a nice job. Yes, knows more about rural growth economic policy than anybody. Listen, I came here today for one big reason, to say thank you to all of you who are out there knocking on doors, making those phone calls, and turning voters out. You know, the polls over the last couple of weeks have improved markedly. But I'll just tell you this, elections aren't won and lost based on what the polls say. They're won and lost based on who shows up to vote. And that means that we've got to get our friends and our neighbors out. You know, people don't believe much of what they see on TV or hear on the radio, for that matter, read the newspapers. But they believe 95% of what they hear from their friends and their neighbors. And so all that work that you're doing is going to pay big dividends here in 19 days. Listen, I come from a big family, 11 brothers and sisters. My dad owned a bar, the last guy in the world who wanted to be here. But I, like you, grew up in America where you can grow up and be anything you want to be. I thought I wanted to run a business. Ended up as Speaker of the House. But I'm going to tell you what, we live in the greatest country in the world, and it's the greatest country because we've had the freedom here to be anything that we want to be. The freedom to succeed, the freedom to try, the freedom to innovate. And yes, we've also had the freedom to fail. But that freedom has served our country great over these last 200 years. If we want to continue to succeed and have opportunities for these young people that are here, we've got to have the freedom to once again unleash our economy to produce those opportunities for our fellow citizens. God bless you, and God bless our country.